Thank you so much for joining us on Quarantine today. If you don't mind, would you just say your name, age, and your state that you live in, or whatever you're comfortable with saying?
Okay, my name's Isaiah Lashley. I am 18 and I live in Illinois.
Do you have any brief summary that you want to talk about how your experiences in the beginning with COVID-19 was when it first was starting to hit where you lived?
The day before, the day before my school closed down, my friends and I were getting prepared to go to indoor track. Uh, it was an indoor state track competition, and that day we were all laughing, joking around, excited. And then the next day, we went through the full school day, and I was supposed to take pictures for in my track uniform with my teammates. And there was a giant basketball game going on that day too that everyone was supposed to go to. And as I'm driving towards the school, getting ready to go to the basketball game and take my pictures and everything, my brother, who was a cheerleader, he's on the cheer team at the time, calls me and says they're shutting down the whole school. Someone might have gotten corona. Um, and that day was kind of terrible. I'm texting everyone, trying to figure out like who had it or what's going on, and like no one knows what's going on. The school emails all the students and the parents and says that uh, one of a student returned from Italy and their whole family was sick, and they just closed down the school just in case. But it seems that he didn't have it. They were just like sick with something else, but it was just a precaution.
Wow, that's crazy. That happened so quickly.
Yeah. So that was, I can't remember the exact date, but it was somewhere near like the second week of March. Um, so so we missed Thursday. We have like a remote because my school already had remote learning days.
They just like for the whole time you've been at that high school, they've always had those days.
It started my junior year. They started implementing like remote learning days for like snow days and other days where we can't make it to the school. And I mean, I'm glad that happened so we wouldn't be like rushed into doing everything. After that Friday, they were shutting down the school until further notice because that's when cases started to rise. Everything just kind of happened so fast. I kind of like fell apart a little bit because this year would have been my first year making it to state with my team. We almost broke a school record. We were like less than a second off from breaking it. And like schoolwork, like I felt very unmotivated to like do anything.
So did you get any closure as a senior? Did you like get to go back and like do a drive-through or something like
We
that?
did we did an online graduation, and we picked up our diplomas and stuff from the school, but it wasn't really any like closure, I guess. And it was just so much that I felt like I missed after working so hard during the first half of that year.
Was there anything at all that you were happy about missing that you didn't have to do? Or was it all the fun stuff?
That I was happy about missing. Um, the only thing that I probably would be happy about missing was my final exam for my physics class because that wouldn't have ended too well.
Has your college decided at all if they're going to be online or in person?
Um, they're still making changes every week, but for now we're still going down on campus, and I have like two classes that are hybrid, so like half online, half in person, and then like four that are just strictly online. Right now, we're supposed to go down. I'm supposed to leave August 16th, and there's no plans for second semester yet.
Are you going to be in a dorm with like other people as well?
Yes, I'm rooming with one of my friends from Hinsdale South, my high school. The sophomores and juniors that I know that were already at the school, their schedules are completely online.
So it's just freshmen that are going back?
Majority of the people going down are freshmen. Yeah.
That's gonna be so interesting. Like are they gonna have like events and like parties stuff and stuff like that still?
I haven't heard anything about that yet. I don't think I haven't heard anything about clubs or events. It's not going to be the same. And I'm just hoping that next year everything's a little bit back to normal, everything's cleared up so that I at least have some of a college experience, you know.
Yeah. Do you know if you're gonna have to wear masks for the class that you do go to and like stay 6 feet of distance from them?
Okay, so for mask regulations and other things like that, you are required to wear a mask every time you leave your dorm room. So you have to wear a mask all the time. So for my in-person classes, yeah, I have to wear a mask, and then we get tested every 2 weeks. All the
Oh,
students
really?
get tested every 2 weeks. I don't know about how they're doing the classes yet. They haven't really said it specifically, but for the rooms, they're making sure the beds are the furthest apart from each other, which is kind of strange because the rooms are very small. I'm just glad that I'm going to be able to go. And other students aren't really allowed into other resident halls. So one of my friends from his self, she lives in another resident hall from me, so I can't go to hers and she can't come to mine.
That's crazy. How are they gonna make sure and
No,
people that's
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be somewhat. I feel like it's gonna be somewhat of a disaster, but I just kind of want to hope that it's not.
Are you worried about getting coronavirus? Is that like something you're worried about or your family's worried about?
I worry about getting it because I have some high risk people in my family. Like my brothers have asthma and my dad has asthma, and then I do have a, a minor heart condition, but I don't know how that affects it really. So it's not too troubling for myself. But if I get it, then I know that I'm probably just gonna have to quarantine by myself and make sure that I don't go near them for at least 2 weeks.
So I know that you were saying you don't play, you run track.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that are there going to be still sports happening, or is that something that they're just not going to do at all?
I was reading one of the emails they sent out to all the students, and they said they're pushing back other winter and fall sports to spring to try to see if it's gonna be better by that time, and if it's not, they said they're still gonna try to do it, and they're gonna cut the capacity of the stadium to only 25% of people can come and sit in it, and that's very sad because I really wanted to see football games and basketball games and be able to go to the events because that's a huge thing, especially at my school.
Have you been going anywhere like into stores or like, traveling out of state recently?
I haven't gone out of out of state, but I have been going to stores to pick up groceries from time to time, pick up things to pack for school, and that's mostly it. Sometimes I hang with I've only seen the same 5 people this entire time of quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know who might have it, who might not.
And I know that in a lot of states it differs how people are reacting to it. In Illinois, do you think that people are taking it seriously, and are you seeing a lot of people wearing masks and distancing themselves from each other?
When it first started, everyone was taking it seriously. The grocery stores were completely cleared out. There were less people outside. It was the streets were empty for 2 months. And now I'm seeing a lot more cars on the street, a lot more people. But at grocery stores, a lot of grocery stores have it mandatory that you wear a mask. And in my town, I haven't really heard anything about people being upset about wearing a mask or anything like that. People are pretty compliant with required of them to do.
That's good.
Yeah.
What have you been doing, or what are you going to do to keep yourself busy this summer? Have you been doing like any activities in your house?
Uh, uh, so at the beginning of the summer, I was running for a little bit, and then I kind of like went into a slump because I was like, school is not starting anymore. I kind of like fell into like a mild depression, and because track was my favorite thing to do in high school, and I've been like playing video games
Mm-hmm.
to the most time, like with my friends. I clean a lot because there's really not much else to do. And then my girlfriend has like a little farm that she does, not farm, garden that she does. Her and her friends took up gardening very fast. We do resin. I don't know if you've heard of resin.
Yeah, I have.
Somewhat fun, not really my thing because I always mess it up somehow, but that's not important. It's fun to do that.
I know you mentioned this a little bit about like being with your friends, and like balancing like having a normal teenage life. How have you been like seeing your friends, and what do you guys usually like do when you hang out? Like, do you go to each other's houses, or do you meet up somewhere?
Um, well, as I told you, I've only seen like the same 5 people. So when we hang out, we usually go over to someone's house and we'll like do resin or watch a movie or just sit and talk.
So besides like living through this pandemic, a lot of other issues have been brought up during this time, and a lot of activism work. Have you been any part of any activist movement right now?
Yes, when it first started up, I can't remember exactly when it started up because it just like kind of flared up from Minnesota when George Floyd was murdered. But I've been sharing different things on my story on Instagram, different things on my story on Snapchat, signing petitions. I've gone to 2 protests, one in my town, one deeper in Chicago. It's been a lot because it's like 2 different sides of things. I try to keep my mind open, and some days I try not to go on social media because I am a person of color and a minority in America. So like even before the protest started, I was always like debating with people, talking with them, trying to like get it out there, get my voice heard. But some people just refuse to listen, I guess. It's hard to talk about, but
Mm-hmm. Have you been feeling isolated, I guess, or lonely in any way?
isolated or lonely? Not really, because I have a younger brother who's not. He's like 2.5 younger. He's 2.5 years younger than me. So, and I share a room with him. He's sitting over there, but
Hmm.
I don't really feel lonely or isolated because I have him to bother.
That's good. That's really good. I've talked to a lot of people, and most of them have had, a point of time where they were feeling really lonely. But that is so good to hear. And I'm sure you've heard of TikTok. There's been a lot of like, it was pretty popular before, and then now it's super popular. Have you been taking part in TikTok, or do you have like an account on there?
I have an account. I have like 2 videos we made before everything happened. I made them with my family and my cousins, but I also have my notification turned off on TikTok. And I go on TikTok like maybe twice a week now, just scrolling through there, laying in bed when I first wake up because I do that quite often, and time just kind of like flows, and I'm like, whoa. But it is a great way for people to like spread awareness of what's everything's going on, and I've seen a lot of videos where people are really trying their best to open some people's eyes to what's going on, or like fight everything else that's going on in our country. Not only like racism, but sexism, be an ally to the LGBTQ community. and everything that's going on.
If you could time travel back to pre-coronavirus, what is something you'd want to tell yourself?
Oh, I think that I don't think I would. I think I would. I don't know. That's kind of hard one, actually. I feel like even though this all happened, I feel like that I'm still in a good place because I still have my family as my support system, and they've helped me a lot. They've helped me a lot. Maybe if I did have to tell myself something, I would just keep. I would tell him that just keep working hard, just keep doing exactly what you're doing. It will be worth it. I still believe that it will be worth it after everything's over. I believe that I will graduate from college. I will get a nice job, and I will make my family proud of what I've done. And I'll try my best to become like a person that I want to become.
Very inspiring. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.